Now, a woman who saved her twin sister from the jaws of a crocodile has been recognised by the King for her bravery.
Weren't expecting that. This is quite a story. Georgia and Melissa Laurie, they were on holiday in Mexico when their trip of a lifetime became the stuff of nightmares. They'll join us right here in a moment. But first, our reporter Abby Smitten has the background.
Their family would describe twins Georgia and Melissa as keen and adventurous travellers. Back in 2021, they took the trip of a lifetime to Mexico, sightseeing and volunteering. With a group of friends, they signed up for a riverboat tour of the picturesque Manieltepec Lagoon. They were told it was safe to swim in the water. Within minutes, though, Melissa was dragged under by a crocodile.
I actually heard her scream and I saw her being taken underneath and by the crocodile. And then I realised she was really in trouble.
It was Georgia who saved her life, leaping into action.
It grabbed her on the leg and her behind and tried to death roll her and drag her away. So I was beating it on its snout and it grabbed my wrist and my arm. So I had to beat it off with my other arm.
Both twins were rushed to hospital. Melissa was left with life-threatening injuries. She contracted sepsis and was placed into an induced coma. It was touch and go for a while, but a few days later, Georgia shared this positive update.
They took the tube out of her. She's been breathing on her own very well. She can't talk because of the soreness in her throat from the tube. She recognised me, knew how I was, seemed happy to see me.
Over the past 3 years, the twins have tried to put the ordeal behind them. But Georgia's bravery is still being remembered and celebrated. She's now been awarded a King's Gallantry Medal for her life-saving efforts to protect her sister. Abby Smitten, BBC News.
Well, I am delighted to say that Georgia and Melissa are here with us now. Georgia, congratulations. We're actually going to start with you, Melissa, because you have survived the most unbelievably traumatic experience. How are you now?
I'm good. I'm doing much better. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it was a very scary time, but I've made it through the other side, and yeah, my health is much better.
Can you kind of believe it when you hear people like us saying that this happened to you? Can you believe that that was you? I
think the longer that we are from the event now, it is quite crazy to think that it happened to us. Yeah, and especially when people tell it back to us. Yeah, it's very odd.
We've always approached the story with a degree of detachment. I mean, that's what you do as a way to cope with the trauma. So you kind of disassociate, and then, you know, when something like this happens, you're like, wow, this is kind of crazy, actually, that it happened to us, you know?
And when you are awarded a medal for what you did, that must... You can't kind of pretend it didn't happen anymore, can you? I mean, this makes it very, very real.
Yes, it does, yeah.
And how did you feel when you heard that you were going to be awarded the medal?
I feel really honoured and privileged. I got the news on Valentine's Day, which was great. So, you know, who needs a boyfriend when you have a King's Gallantry Medal, right? So, yeah, but honestly, I feel so privileged, but I owe everything to Melissa. She really gave me the strength to fight when I had none left in me to fight, because I wouldn't be here without her today either. So I feel like I owe half of it to her. Not that I'm not going to cut it in half for you, don't worry. But, you know, I really do feel like I owe a lot to my sister as well for her strength and courage throughout.
You sense the bond between you. I mean, you're sort of holding one another's hands and touching one another when you're talking to us this morning. Have you always been really close?
We have done, yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we do bicker, but I think all siblings do, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. We're much closer now as a result of what happened. It's definitely brought us together. So I felt like our bond was severed when I thought that she had died.
Definitely.
But I'm just so fortunate that she didn't, and we're still able to enjoy life together.
Yeah, I could feel myself sort of losing grip of our bond, and that's why when I was on the boat and I was dying, I was saying, "Hug me, Georgia, hug me, I'm dying," and I was biting onto her shoulder just to stay connected to her. Yeah.
Gosh, and you remember all that, do you? Clearly, it's all still in your mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
how on earth do you recover from that emotionally?
I'd say, you know, you can't really put a time frame on the mental health side of things. That's definitely a journey that is it can be difficult to navigate, especially if you haven't learnt the right coping mechanisms. I mean, it's difficult for anybody to move through trauma. But with the right support network, you know, I have an amazing family and lots of amazing friends, and they've really helped make this, you know, much easier, the healing journey.
And also just strangers that hear about the story, they're just so amazed, you know, by the bravery and just, you know, everything around it.
How brave was she then?
Oh, so brave, honestly, so courageous. I mean, I would hate to think if the roles were swapped, because I would say that you're sort of more feisty anyway, so I think that may have helped, you know, the situation that she was put in it, and, you know, she was fighting it off me. I would hate to think if I froze in that moment, but yeah, you were very brave.
You never know what your reaction's going to be, fight or flight, and thankfully, you know, I had a fighter's instinct, you know.
But I mean, it's one thing fighting; it's another thing fighting a crocodile.
Yeah, well, you know, not everyone can say that they fought a crocodile. I definitely do slide that into conversation sometimes.
You're Crocodile Dundee, aren't you?
Yeah, that's my nickname. I've given myself Crocodile Dundee, or Crocodile didn't do G, rather.
Well, you can be Crocodile KG now. You've got the King's Gallantry Medal, can't you?
Yes, I can. That's really... Yeah, could be my DJ name. Yeah.
Did you ever doubt that your sister would not only protect you but beat the crocodile? Did you just believe that she'd help you, save you?
To be honest, it all happened very quickly. So when I was bitten by the arm and I was dragged underwater, that was it for me. I thought, you know, I'm a goner, lights out, and then I don't really remember much after that, actually. So, I mean, I do remember you sort of saying tranquilo, tranquilo, and then, you know, calling help for a boat. And then that, I think, reassured me. And then, again, I passed out. Don't remember anything till after the boat. I was just very delirious, thinking, what on earth has gone on?
You remember me singing to you on the boat?
I do, yeah. She sung to me, Stand By Me, and Don't Worry About a Thing. And she sung that on repeat, just to keep me calm. She'd heard that, like, singing.
It helps anchor your body, doesn't it? I think the melody.
The soul, yeah.
It's really healing, isn't it? Yeah.
You are one cool customer, aren't you? The way
Thank you.
I wondered what you were going to say there.
No, but it's just amazing, kind of just like, have you always been this kind of level and able to deal with stuff? Because I would panic.
No.
No?
Well, I don't know. I think everybody has this strength in them. It's just, you know, we're not prevented with this threat in your normal day-to-day life, but it's a very human nature to survive and to protect one another and to love one another.
And you are getting back in the water, aren't you?
We are.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Well, it was my crazy idea, so...
Why does that not surprise me?
It doesn't surprise anyone, to be honest. So, yeah, we've decided to swim the Thames Marathon, so it's between Hellion-Thames and Marlow. So we're doing it for two amazing charities, PTSD UK and Compañeros en Salud, which is a medical charity in Mexico which helps impoverished communities in Chiapas. It helps them, provide them with medical care and medical supplies, because we owe everything to the nurses and the doctors in Mexico, really, that helped save Melissa's life, you know, beyond myself, so...
And Melissa, are you all right in the water now? I mean, you...
I mean, it is a bit nerve-wracking getting in, especially when I'm sort of getting tired or some water enters my lungs. It takes me back to that moment where I was drowning. But I think we'll definitely get there, won't we? With more practice, we'll get you know, used to the feeling of being in the water again.
It's going to be such a huge achievement as well. You know, just reclaiming back the water and doing it for such a good cause. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but that's the whole point of why we're doing it for PTSD UK. The water is not going to be easy for us to be in, but you know,
we
it's
always
a
try to find silver linings from things, don't we?
Yeah.
I've just spotted your necklace. I don't know whether the camera can pick it up, but you've got a crocodile necklace.
Yeah, do you know what?
Crocodile ring.
I was going to say,
you've got a crocodile ring as well.
Yeah, I have one as well, but it's, you know, we've used humour as a crutch to get us through it. I think that's a very common thing when you go through trauma or depression, you know, because laughing makes you feel good. So we've definitely use that as a way to cope. It's become our thing. We're fascinated by crocodiles, and you know, I think I have so much respect for them now.
But they've got quite a lot of respect for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, they should do, shouldn't they?
Don't mess.
The crocodiles are scared. It's so lovely to meet you both. Congratulations on the award. It's great to see you looking so well and doing so well. And it's an amazing story of just like sibling support, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's lovely. Great stuff.
So
Thank you so much. All the best.